I'm here with the Historic Point Basse Ice Harvest Fest. Back in the early 1750s, artificial refrigeration was used by means of cutting blocks of ice out of frozen lakes, all the way up to the 1920s until Frigidaire produced the first home freestanding refrigerator. So let's take a look on how these blocks of ice are cut from the lakes and stored in a special building that keeps it frozen for quite a long time. So let's take a look. Today at the Historic Point Basse with Mike Hinter. Mike, can you tell us a little bit about this ice harvest we got going on here today?
Well, we harvested the ice at Nepco Lake this morning, and today, this afternoon almost, we're packing it away in our ice house. And our ice house holds about 40 blocks of ice, and in between the ice layers, there's sawdust is put, and then sawdust will go around the top and around the sides of it. And that ice will actually keep until August, September of the year. Surprisingly, you'd think that, it's going to melt away, but use fresh sawdust every year and it works that well.
What do you use the ice for?
Ice is used at our summer festival for cooling drinks and also for making ice cream. We chip it up and use it in ice cream makers. So yeah, so it's utilitarian, plus we're recreating what the Wakeleys would have done.
Right. And how much do one of these blocks of ice?
Depending on the block, anywhere from 75 to maybe a little over 100 pounds, depending on the size of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is held every year, right?
Right. We do it in conjunction with the Port Edwards Lions Fishery. They've been good enough to invite us in to be part of their fishery. And then what we do is add another little event to their festival down there. And also we got to cut ice anyway, so it's an opportune time. And we used to cut it in the first few years like at a cranberry marsh, but it's kind of hard to get the public in there and because of liability reasons. So this works out really well for everybody.
And how long does it take to cut these out of the lake there?
Out of the lake, probably just about 2 hours. They can cut most everything we need. They'll cut a little bit more for people to see how the process goes, but basically about 2 hours we can cut 40 blocks out of the ice.
And what kind of tools that are used to?
Well, we use the old-time hand saws that are thicker and heavier, and the teeth are further apart than like a wood saw. And the hand saws are used to cut the ice, and then we have a couple trim saws and some pike poles and a few things to float them out, and of course tongs to pull them out of the lake when we get them cut.
Okay. Yeah. When was the last time that maybe something like this would have been used in a everyday situation?
Probably up to about 1920s. They still had icemen that went around and delivered ice in cities. Was probably cut commercially. What I mean by is they probably had a motorized saw or something like that because they were cutting a huge amount of it. But probably in the 1920s was probably about the end of it on a commercial basis.
Yeah, I'm sure it kind of makes people realize what
we take for granted.
What we take for granted for refrigeration. So
for sure.
So well, Mike, thank you very much for having us down here, and
thanks for coming out, for everybody that watches it. So.